Hello. Hi everyone. Today, we are going to learn about FTIR. For an introduction, Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy, FTIR, is a technique used to obtain an infrared spectrum of absorption or emission of a solid, liquid or gases. So now, let's go next. How to use FTIR.
FTIR is very useful for material characterization. They can be used to determine what functional groups are present in a material sample due to the fact that different functional groups absorb and transmit different wavelengths of light. They can also be used for quantitative analysis, for instance, analyzing the composition of two different copolymers. The FTIR machines should only be cleaned with alcohol. However, the solvent should not be applied directly, as this could damage the device. Instead, first apply the alcohol to a chem wipe, and then wipe down the machines. After logging on to a computer, open up Omnic to begin data acquisition. The first step in testing a sample is to collect background data with no sample in place in order to calibrate the FTIR. To do this, simply click the Collect Background button in Omnic and then click OK. Prior to collecting the data, the number of runs can be increased to greater than the standard number of 16. This increases the accuracy of the data, but also makes the test take longer. Collecting background data usually takes around 10 to 15 seconds for 16 runs. After the data is collected, you'll be prompted and you'll select No for Add to Window 1. Now it is time to load the sample. Place the sample under the clamping device on the machine and then turn the knob until you hear 2 clicks. Next, go back to the computer and click on the Collect Sample button in Omnic. Then click OK twice. After the sample is done running, a dialog box will appear. Click Yes to add to Window 1. Next, you need to baseline the sample. First, click Absorbance or press Ctrl+A. Then click Auto Baseline and then clear the raw data. To get the data in the standard format, either press Ctrl and T or click %transmittance. This will invert the data. Finally, you can click the Find Peaks button and then drag the line to include or exclude certain peaks. This will find and label significant peaks on the spectra. Next, click on Replace and then Ctrl F in order to resize the graph. The final step is to save this file to a location of your choice and/or print out the graph. The graph should be saved as a CSV file. Saving the graph as a CSV file will allow it to be quantitatively analyzed later on. In order to analyze an FTIR spectrum, the absorbance and transmittance of certain functional groups can be looked up in references, and/or the spectra can be directly compared to previous spectra recorded in references. Now the sample should be removed from the device by simply unscrewing the clamping device and disposing of the sample.
Let's find out sampling technique used in FTIR. The sampling technique available in FTIR is transmission, attenuated total reflection ATR, specular reflection, and diffuse reflection. Credit for member contribution work, Kasha and Harun working on videos, Akma and Biha working on slideshow.
I would like to say thank you for those who watching this entire video.
created using Powtoon.